Who's ready for a new Kzoo Keto chaffle recipe? I'm Stacy, and as I said, this is Kzoo Keto, and I'm going to bring you a new chaffle recipe. This is a cake chaffle. The fun part about that is you can mix in any flavorings you want to change the flavor of the cake. So this one is definitely for special treats only because one chaffle has 3.2 carbs, and this recipe is going to make 2 chaffles, and that's 3.2 net carbs. So I would recommend making it up, making it into a little cake, and sharing it with someone. So Greg and I will be sharing this today. So for this, you're going to need heavy whipping cream, vanilla, baking powder, cream cheese, egg, coconut flour, sour cream, and erythritol.
It doesn't say erythritol. It says Kzoo monk fruit sweetener.
It is erythritol sweetened with monk fruit by Kzoo. So we're going to start out with 2 ounces of cream cheese. I'm going to throw this in the microwave for about 15 seconds on high to get it kind of
melted, goopy,
viscous, I guess. I lost my word. We've got this all nice and goopy. While that is going in the microwave, you'll probably want to take that time to get your other ingredients because it's going to take a little bit of time for it to cool down and not cook your egg when you put it in there. That said, we need to add 1 egg. And I'm just going to get it scrambled with the cream cheese. I almost called it cottage cheese. And this is more of a white cake recipe. As I mentioned, you could put some extracts in here. I will show you the wide variety of extracts that I've accumulated since starting keto. Some of them I've used, some of them I have not used yet. Still plan to though. Another thing you can do is add in a little cocoa powder if you want to make it a chocolate cake. You could throw in some lemon zest along with a lemon extract. Make it a lemon cake. It's pretty much unlimited possibilities in a way. So these aren't all the same brand, of course, but I have gotten all of these either off of Amazon, which I will leave links to them down below, or I found them directly in the store. To that, we're going to add 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream and 1 teaspoon of vanilla. This is where you could add in your extract. I would say start with half a teaspoon, unless you're doing almond. Because almond is a very strong flavor, you might want to start with a 1/4 teaspoon. Then we also need a tablespoon of sour cream.
Very satisfying plop that was.
And as always, I always mix up my kind of wet ingredients first before I put in the dry ingredients. Then we're going to add half a teaspoon of baking powder. That helps it rise along with the egg. 1 teaspoon of granulated monk fruit extract, erythritol, or Kzoo, which we actually have a discount code for all Kzoo products. If you order through them directly and use Kzoo Keto at checkout, it gives you 15% off. Last, we're going to add 2 tablespoons of coconut flour. You can use almond flour. It's just going to change, your ratio is going to change a little bit because coconut flour is like a 1/4 cup to 1 cup of almond flour ratio. So this is what it's going to look like. You're going to see it kind of resembles a cake batter a little bit, but it's a little bit thicker. Something else you can add, which I forgot about, is sprinkles. These Stoka sprinkles I found on Amazon. They're really good. They are 0 net carbs, but we all know it's not really 0 net. It's probably half a carb. They're obviously not made with sugar. They're made with erythritol for the sweetener. So I'm going to go with just a couple of good shakes. About like that. So you're going to probably want to turn your chaffle irons on ahead of time. Ours are getting pretty old now, and I'm noticing that things are starting to stick to them. So I'm going to take this avocado spray that we get from Costco, and I'm going to just give them a little bit of a spray. Maybe. This does not spray very well. Whoa. got all over the place. So then we're just going to divide this between the 2 chaffle irons. And something I like to do with this type is just let it sit like this for a little bit and with the top open. That way hopefully it won't spill out over the edges so much. Although I think I overfilled this one. You could probably actually, instead of just 2, you could probably get like 2 and a baby, or maybe 3 chaffles out of it. All right, let's go ahead and close these slowly. There it goes. All right, we got a mess. Whatever, it'll all taste the same.
So what would you do differently to prevent it from leaking everywhere?
Not fill it as much.
So probably make it more like 3?
Yeah.
2 and a mini?
2 and a mini, 3. So I believe the reason why it did this is because if you're familiar with pancake batter, sometimes the longer you let it sit, the fluffier it gets. And I think that's what happened here. So in the past when I've made this, obviously I'm going straight from making it to putting it on here. When you're videoing, things happen, you gotta stop, you gotta wait, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. So it sat and it got fluffier and overflowed. So you're gonna let them cook for 3 to 4 minutes. And when they're done, they're definitely gonna have that cakey texture. And they're also very floppy, kind of like a cake would be if it was made in this form.
But hey, it didn't stick.
It didn't stick, yay. All right, so we're gonna let those cool off a minute. So while I'm letting those cool, I just wanted to tell you there's a couple more things I thought of that you could throw in there. We have this Canto peanut butter powder. I'm loving this stuff. This is like my 2nd bag. And then there's also cinnamon, so you can have like all kinds of different flavors with this. So it can be a really interchangeable flavor profile to your preferences.
You could also use the frosting that you did in the Oreo video, right?
Yep, and that's actually, I was about to just make that to top it with. Also, while it's cooling, I'm gonna make the frosting. I've made this frosting before for the Oreo like chaffles. That was on a much bigger scale because we had people coming and I was making a lot of chaffles and I needed a lot of icing. But this is just a 1/4 cup of the erythritol, the Keto monk fruit sweetener that we use, and I powder it in a spice grinder. So it's a 1/4 cup of that powdered. It is 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream, and 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, and then I just mixed it all up. So we're gonna go ahead and throw this on the chaffles. It's not gonna be super pretty because I'm just doing this to eat it.
Now are the carb counts with cream as well, or is that extra?
No, that's extra. Any changes you make aside from the actual recipe, as it will be listed in the box below, is going to change your carb count. So I would recommend calculating that to make sure that you can fit that into your day. These are frosted, they're ready to be consumed. So this is our belated, this is our
just use my fingers.
belated wedding cake.
Belated wedding cake, indeed.
Although we've already had it, but we promised this video a long time ago. Tastes like cake to me.
It does taste like cake. I'm not a huge cake person.
He's not.
So this tastes like cake. It's good cake too. So I mean,
I like it. It's light, it's fluffy.
Mm-hmm.
And the sprinkles give it that little extra zhuzh.
It's funny she said the sprinkles because I thought I had just eaten the eggshell again or something. I'm like, why did I have a little crunch? Why, that was weird. Yeah.
Carolyn's actually a really big fan of this one too.
She really likes cake. So, yeah. It'd probably have to be like chocolate or something like that. I mean, this is like a white cake mix, right? And, you know.
And it doesn't even have the cake batter extract in it. You could totally put cake batter extract in here, but I don't think it needs it. Like, I think this is one of my favorites, aside from the lemon cake.
Yeah.
I think this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, this is good, but again, I'm not a cake person. I think the cream on top is very tasty as well. And if you use it fairly quickly, there isn't really that much of that cooling effect that you get. So,
if you're not used to it, you're still gonna get it.
Yep.
But if you're used to it, like we are, I don't notice it. If you decide to make this and make any flavor changes to it, I would love to know what you did and how it comes out, because I have all those extracts. I have not tried any of them yet, but I plan to.
That's not true. You tried some of them.
Not in this.
Oh, okay. Because you like it the way it is. You don't need anything.
Yeah, but I do want to try it. I really like it like this. So, gone.
Gone.
Non-cake guy, gone. Let us know if you still want us to keep coming up with chaffle recipes. We still have a lot of ideas. We just haven't really taken the time to experiment with them.
Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for subscribing. Make sure you turn that bell on for notifications when we put out new videos. And as always,
stay keto.
We'll see you guys in the next video.
Not letting any crumbs go to waste.